So, a great question. This person asks, I just want to understand if Japan had US blessings, why it attacked Pearl Harbor and it was nuked by the US. Well, this is your favorite half Chinese. And this is a great question because if you know the history between Japan and the United States, it's one that is extremely abusive from both sides. So at that point in time, the US was betting on Japan. What they wanted Japan to do is apply the Monroe Doctrine all over Asia. I think, but I'm not 100% sure, but it looks almost certainly like that the mindset of the United States would be Hitler in Europe, Japan in Asia, and they in America, and probably they were already looking like who they would overthrow after, right? So it would be a divided world among three powers. That looks very much like it because that might also explain why the United States didn't come to Europe when they were asked repeatedly to come and help. One of the things was obviously they were giving two-thirds of the oil and hardware to Japan needed to invade all the other Asian nations. And they also were doing business with Germany. So you can see how it would have played out. Now, what happened? The United States also saw that at a certain point in time, the Japanese were losing because it is unsustainable. The Chinese resistance keep resisting. They will not just roll over and give you the land. So they were losing. So what did the United States do? As they always do, they switched partners. At that time, China was called the Republic of China and not the People's Republic of China. It was after the first revolution of 1911. So at that time, the ruler in China was Chiang Kai-shek, a true dictator in the Western sense of the word. Chiang Kai-shek was also very good with the Western powers because he was a corrupt politician who only thought of the benefit of himself and a few of his friends. So when the United States came to Chiang Kai-shek and asked him, do you want to apply the Monroe Doctrine in Asia and take Japan's task upon you? He was more than happy to oblige and accepted the deal. And as a consequence of that, the United States could not give the oil and hardware anymore to the Japanese because they shifted sides. Therefore, the answer of the Japanese was, oh, you're backstabbing us? Let's see. And that was why Pearl Harbor happened. And that is the main reason. The United States also cut them off somewhere in another part in Asia. And, this was the big conflict. So yeah, it all has to do with backstabbing of the United States. And that was the answer of the Japanese. And because of that, Japan declared war on the United States, and because of they are being in a agreement with Germany, they are collaborating with each other. Germany also had to declare war on the United States, and it was only then that the United States came to Europe to fight their war against the Germans. And that was the only reason that they came. So for all the Europeans that are watching, I know what you've been taught in school, that the United States came to save us, but that is not the truth. They came to fight their own war, and we helped them. It was not the other way around. Obviously, because they joined forces, it also did help us, but they were not the freedom fighters that came to save us out of compassion. Now, when it comes to the nukes that were used, that's also a very abusive story. So what happened was Japan actually already knew it wasn't going to win and actually ceded and was retracting its troops. So there was no reason to do that to the Japanese people. None at all. They were retracting their troops. However, what was the reasoning behind it? Well, a psychological reason. It wasn't aimed at the Japanese. Japan was just used as a ground to display the power of the United States, to threaten Russia and China. They were telling them, see what we have, and see we are not afraid to use it. Anyway, I hope this will answer your question. It's because of double crossing and backstabbing. That's what you get, you know, and that is why we should be more focused on cooperating, being honest with each other, and if you don't like the deal, then just don't take the deal and just try to be humane and compassionate. And that is why in government, it is very important for countries, if we want to have peace all over the world one day, to have compassionate people over businessmen in office. I hope that makes sense now. Anyway, I thank you for this question. It was a great question. I hope this enlightened you a lot about the history. But the history between Japan and the United States, very, very abusive. That history already started before this. It's extreme. You should look it up. It is. I have no words for it. Uh, so yeah, I cannot say these words on TikTok. Anyway, I hope you appreciate my effort to explain this to you. If you did, then please like, share, and if you have not yet, then follow. This was your favorite half Chinese, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain this part of history. Have a great day.